To the holy Swamins and to every one of you, let me offer my pranams. Patanjala Yoga Darshan, the second quarter and fifth aphorism. Yesterday we were considering the nature of avidya. In the fifth aphorism, he says, Anitya, Ashuchi, Dukkha, Anatmasu, Nitya, Shuchi, Sukha, Atmakhyatihi, Avidya. Very reasonable and precise definition he has given. What is avidya? And how it causes suffering? These are the two questions he is going to answer. What is avidya? Yesterday we saw that avidya is mistaking the things, misunderstanding, knowledge which is not valid, knowledge which is erroneous. That is called avidya. There is a knowledge, but it is not the valid one. Avidya, by avidya he doesn't mean absence of knowledge. He does not say that there is no knowledge at all. He says there is knowledge, but it is not the valid knowledge. This is called viparya. Viparya means the thing is different and our knowledge of the thing is quite different. This happens in life. There are so many things which are not nitya. They are perishable. They are perishable. They are fleeting events. But we take them to be imperishable. Or we think that they may be made imperishable. They can be made imperishable. That's why we get into troubles. And that causes suffering, misery. Everybody knows that fame is not permanent. But everybody is after the fame. No position is permanent in life. But everyone is struggling for some position in society. No wealth is permanent here. Still we are trying to make it permanent. Isn't it? That feeling itself is called avidya. Anitya, nitya. The body is anitya. The body is anitya. And whatever is nitya we think is not nitya. We never say that we are immortal. We never say that we are going to live forever. That time has no influence upon us. Because of avidya, he says. Next he says, ashuchi, ashuchi. Unclean objects are there. We take them to be very clean. Worthless things are there. We take them to be worthwhile. We fail to know the real value of things. What is the value of this flower? The real value is different from the market value. The market value depends upon the demand and supply. The market value is a relative, not absolute. The absolute value is different and the market value, relative value is different. Many times we mistake the market value to be the real value of that object. Take for example of a drop of water and a bead of a pearl, very beautiful pearl. The market value of the pearl is much, very much. Suppose it is $1 million or $1 million rupees. What is the value of a drop of water? Nobody says that a drop of water has any value. Everybody chooses the pearl, not the drop of water. Is it the real value of the drop of water? Is it the real value of that pearl? The pearl's value depends upon the demand. If there are more people who want to have that pearl, the value of the pearl increases. But that is not the value, it oscillates. It increases and decreases. If there is nobody to ask for it, then the value becomes zero. But what about a drop of water? If there is no water, there is no life. This is called the intrinsic value. Intrinsic value. The life doesn't depend upon the pearls. The life does depend upon the water. Therefore, a drop of water is invaluable. You cannot put or determine a price or put price upon that drop of water. You cannot create it. In its absence, you cannot live. So much is the value of it. Means a life and a drop of water, they go together. But unfortunately, we do not think so. A man with water is never considered to be rich. Because I have a pot of water, I can't say that. I do not say that I am rich. But with simple pearl, a single pearl, I think that I am rich. This is avidya, he says. We do not know what is the real value of the things. We are not able to see the value. We are not able to know the value of the things. What is the value of the body? What is the value of the sense organs? When you compare the body with the things that we use, then the body's value is invaluable in a way. You cannot You cannot determine the value of it. But unfortunately, on trivial things, we lay our life. On trivial things, small things, just for an inch of land, for a meter of land, just for a small chair of a power, we raised wars, waged wars, we went to wars. And thousands of people were killed just for the sake of a chair. But is it the real value of the things? Where is life and where is the material wealth? The value of life and the value of the things that we amass in life. Just to compare them. Life is infinitely precious, not precious, infinitely precious. It is created by the nature. Nature has been working for millions and millions of years just to create a man, just to create the life. How valuable it is. But nobody says that I am living, therefore I am rich. Everyone who is living is the richest being in the world because he is living. He has a life. But this thinking is not acceptable to the people. Because of ignorance, he says, Patanjali. Because of our lack of knowledge, we do not know the real value of life, the real value of the things. This is avidya. This is avidya. Why should we not feel that we are rich? Why our richness is to come from the outer, external things? I am there, a small bird is there, a small bird, a sparrow. A sparrow. One day, it was a very beautiful sparrow. Its feathers were having wonderful colors. A rich man invited that sparrow. And the man said, why don't you come into this beautiful cage? It is made of gold. It is studded with gems and jewels. Why don't you come into this cage and live here joyfully all your life, safe also? The sparrow said, I know the value of life and freedom. I know the value of freedom. You may not know. In your eyes, in your opinion, this cage is very valuable. In my opinion, freedom is valuable. I just fly freely in the sky. So free. I may not be safe here. I may not be getting all kinds of fruits that may be available in your cage, but I am the happiest man, happiest being, happiest sparrow, because I know the value of freedom and life. A sparrow is freed from avidya, but man is not. Man is not. We never look at the people from this angle. We don't worry about the intrinsic value of the individuals. Who is great? Socrates? or a millionaire? Who is great, Tolstoy or a billionaire? Who is great? Tolstoy or Socrates knows what he is. The millionaire doesn't know what he is. He knows only the dollars, only the euros. He doesn't know his own value. Therefore, these people are living in the darkness of avidya. Anitya, ashuchi. Now we go over to the next word, dukkha. Dukkha. The thing is sorrow causing. It causes sorrow. But we take it to be the source of joy. That is a mistake we make so many times. It causes suffering. But we think that it gives me joy. It gives me pleasure. It gives me much pleasure. Take for example, smoking. I get joy from it. We think it is a source of joy. Source of joy. But this pleasure that we get from smoking that tobacco is not going to be there always. It is a temporary pleasure. And it is an unreal pleasure. These are the two way we can describe it. Unreal pleasure and temporary pleasure. It is not really pleasure, but we think that it is pleasure. It is not really pleasant. It is temporary, not going to last for a long time. In the long run, it will cause suffering. We become miserable. Means even a pleasure is not a pleasure here. If a pleasure ends in pain, then it cannot be pleasure. Wholesome pleasure is different. Harmful pleasure is different. Whether a thing is pleasant or whether an act is pleasant or not is to be determined by the result. We may get after a long time. Dukkha and sukha. What is pleasant? What is painful? Many times we do not know what is really pleasant, what is really painful. Therefore, we have to suffer all our life. What is pleasant? Sita Devi thought that if she gets the deer, golden deer, she will be the happiest lady in the world. Happiest. She wanted to have it. She wanted to have that deer. But she did not know the worth of it. Whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, whether it is the source of pleasure or unpleasure, she did not know. That's why there was Ramayana. In our life also the same thing happens. We think that this is the source of pleasure. If I get a chair, if I become a chairman, I think that I shall be the most happy person in the world. But I do not know that. I don't know that it is going to be a trouble for our life. It causes trouble. It causes tension. That doesn't mean we should not sit in the power of chair. In the power. That doesn't mean that. It means even when we are in power of in the chair of a power, we should know that it is not going to make us happy. It is not going to make us great. The greatness, the happiness, everything comes from the real value of the things. We have to look into the things. Then we come to know whether it is causing happiness or causing unhappiness. There is a story of a dog. You know the story very well. It is the story of a small dog. One day it was turning round and round, chasing its own tail. It was chasing its own tail. Small dog, very beautiful dog, and very wise. It was chasing its tail. Means it wanted to catch its tail. In that effort, he was turning round and round. An elder dog came on the scene. "What are you doing, my young man, young dog?" he asked. The dog said, "Nowadays I have become a great philosopher. It is my discovery. It is my great discovery." "What is your discovery?" He said, "I have discovered after much effort, research, I have made a research that happiness is in my tail. And it is in the tail of every dog. Happiness, if there is any happiness, it must be in my tail. Therefore I am trying to catch it. Get happy." The elder dog said, "You are right, my young dog. You are very right. There is a happiness, and we dogs are to be happy. We must be happy. And the happiness is in our tails. That also I accept. But how to get it? That is the problem. How to get it? You think that only when you catch the tail, you become happy. But just to see the mystery of life, the happiness is in the tail, but you cannot catch the tail. That is how the life is made. We know where the happiness is, but we cannot get it. Then what should I do? Asked the small dog. Then the big dog said, "Just go your way. The tail follows you." You need not go after the tail. Then you don't find happiness. Go your own way. The tail follows you. The happiness is to follow you. You are not to go after happiness. But many times we fail to understand it. Dukkha and sukha. Happiness and unhappiness. Where is happiness? Where is happiness? Patanjali says, we try to find happiness there where it is not. Means whatever is the source of unhappiness, that appears to us to be the source of happiness. That is avidya. That is avidya. Now he goes to the next part of the definition. Anatma and Atma. Anitya, Ashuchi, Dukkha, Anatmasu, Nitya, Shuchi, Sukha, Atmakhyatihi. We mistake Anatma itself to be Atma. We misunderstand Anatma to be Atma. What is Atma? What is Anatma? Everyone has his own idea of himself. Everyone has his own idea of himself. He thinks that he is great, or he thinks that he is small. His idea of himself. He himself thinks that he is great. He himself thinks that he is small. His idea. But is it the true idea? Is he as he thinks about himself? That he has to find out, but he doesn't do. Nobody cares about it. Atma, Anatma, these are the two terms. What is Anatma? What is Anatma? That which is not Atma is Anatma. Atma means Atma. That which knows is Atma. And that which is known is Anatma. This object is there. I know the object. I know the object. I am the knower of the object. The knower is Atma. Atma is there. He doesn't know anything. This doesn't happen. Atma means one who knows. Anatma is that which is known. The table is Anatma, we say, because it is an object. In table we don't find the characteristics which are to be found in the self. Therefore, table is different, I am different. My body is different, I am different. But what do we think about ourselves? He says, many times we take non-self to be the self. We take non-self to be the self. We must misunderstand man. What is man? Man is not just a body. Man is not just his own mind. Man is something more. He is much more than what he thinks about himself. But he doesn't know it. Therefore, he is living in the darkness of avidya. He is avidya. He suffers from avidya. There is avidya, klesha in his mind. We don't know. Self and non-self. What is self? What is non-self? This is non-self, the table, because it does not know that it is table. Simple definition. That which doesn't know that it is table is ignorant. It is avidya. It doesn't know. It is non-self. It is non-self. If the table knows itself, then it is self. We must be self-conscious. We must be conscious of our own self. If I am not conscious of myself, I am not the self. The things are not conscious of their selves, therefore they are not self. They are non-self. Simple, very rational, logical definition that Patanjali gives. Very simple definition. What I am not, I think I am. What I am not means that which doesn't know that it is X or Y or Z. That I think I am. Means I think that to be myself which doesn't know what it is. That is the wonder and mystery of a human life. We think, for example, I am beautiful or ugly, I say. But that thing which is beautiful or ugly, according to me, in my view, doesn't know that it is beautiful or ugly. The body, for example, doesn't know that it is beautiful or ugly. Does it know? The Kesha, for example. My hair is very beautiful, I say. I am very proud of it. I am very proud of it. But does it know? Does the hair know that it is beautiful? It doesn't know. It does not know that it is a hair. But when it is on my head, I think that I am beautiful. It is a wonder of wonder. I think that I am beautiful. Means I am identifying myself with the hair which doesn't know that it is a hair. This is called avidya. Anatmaso atma bhavana atma khyatihi. We are identifying with so many things. So many things. I am the president of this country. I am the king of this country. What do these words mean? I am great, I say. But who is great? What is greatness? We do not know. What is greatness? Just because I sit in this chair, can I become great? How to define greatness? Because so many people respect me, should I say that I am great? Am I great? It is very difficult to determine who is great, who is small. Atom is there. Electron is there. Very small. Very, very small. You cannot see it. But it works. If a man has become great, it is because of this atom, this electron. If there is no electron, then you cannot be great. So much work it does. It runs. It runs so fast. 3 lakh kilometers per second. We think that the person who runs 10 miles an hour, great runner. We think that he is a great runner. Electron, from his angle, from the angle of the electron, you are not running, you are just sleeping. 3 lakh kilometers per second. Just see it, the wonder of it. It needs no power from outside, but it runs very, very fast. But it never says that I am the greatest runner in the world. Who is the great? Who is small? Your mobiles are working. Wonderful, isn't it? Electrons are working. Atoms are working for you. And all the discoveries that are there going on nowadays depend upon the electrons. They are helping us. They are our true friends. We have to give respect to them, honor to them. They are honorable. They are great. They have made us great. We mistake the non-self to be the self. The value of the things we do not know. Self and non-self. Thus, this is the definition of avidya. Anitya is there. We take it to be nitya, or we behave as if it is nitya. Ashuchi is there. Worthless is there. We take it to be worthwhile. And dukkha, the source of dukkha, suffering is there, but we take it to be the source of happiness. And lastly, there is asatya, asat. There is asat, there is anatma. That we take to be atma. That we take to be atma. This is avidya. This is one of the kleshas. How many kleshas are there? 5 kleshas are there. Of them, the first one, the most important one, and on which other kleshas thrive, is avidya. It is avidya. The next one is asmita. Asmita. A little difficult to know. Asmita. What is asmita? This is the second klesha. Klesha means you know it already. It is an obstacle. Klesha is an obstacle to reach the state of a peace, perfect peace and freedom. Klesha is an impurity that we find in our mind. Klesha is the primary cause of all suffering of mankind. All the problems are because of these kleshas. And these kleshas he enumerated as 5. The first one he defined. It is avidya. Avidya is mistaking one thing for the other. Now we go to the next klesha. It is asmita. Asmita he defines drik darshana shaktyoho ekatmata eva asmita. Drik darshana shaktyor ekatmata eva asmita. Small definition, but very, very meaningful definition it is. What is asmita? Asmi means I am. Asmita means I feel that I am. That feeling of I am is called asmita. I am. I feel that I am. I think that there is I. In other words, asmita means the sense of individuality. I am different, you are different. That which differentiates me from the entire world is asmita. It divides the world into two parts. That which is I and that which is not I. The entire world is different. I am different. We think so. I am different. I never think that I am a part of this universe. I think that I am different. This sense of difference arises because of asmita. And all our life, what we do, we want to grow this asmita, embellish this asmita. If it grows, we feel that we are happy, and our life is a fulfillment. We lived meaningfully, we say, if our ego grows. Asmita means ego. I am feeling. The sense of I. The sense of difference. The sense of I am different from the world. I have got a special existence in this world. But nobody is special here. I can't live by myself. I have to depend upon so many things in this world. Whatever is within me comes from outside. Whether it is a strength or intelligence, whether it is a strength or a knowledge, whether it is happiness or unhappiness, everything comes from outside. I drink water, I eat food, then I say that I am strong. The strength comes from outside. But when it enters into me, I feel that I am strong. But where is this? From where does this strength come? The food knows it. The water knows it. When it is outside, I say it is different. When it gets into my body, I think it is mine. It is I. Just look at the nature of the things. Patanjali says, asmita is there. Means I am differentiating, separating myself from the entire world. I am dividing the world into two parts. I and not I. And if the world is good for me, if the world does something good for me, then I think this is good world. If it does it any bad thing to me, then I say it is a bad world. The world is bad and the world is good. Because it is good for me, it is bad for me. Means everything that I say depends upon my relation with the world. From my point of view, I look at the world. Some people say the world is very bad. Some people say the world is very wonderful. Kalidasa said, it is a paradise. A paradise on the earth. A paradise. And we say, what is there in this world? Nothing. The most wicked, cruel, And a dishonest world it is, we say. In our eyes, the world is different. In your eyes, the world is different. This is only because there is asmita.